Friends, what we witnessed this week is both heartbreaking and disturbing. The assassination of Charlie Kirk, just 31 years old, a father of two, and the founder of Turning Point USA, has shaken America to its core. And it should. Because this wasn't just the killing of a man. It was a direct attack on the very principle he stood for. That we solve our differences with words, not violence. Charlie Kirk spent his career walking into college campuses, challenging students, inviting debate. He would sit at a table with a microphone and simply say, "Prove me wrong." Whether you agreed with him or not, you had to respect that he believed in free speech, in conversation, in the power of ideas. And that's what makes his assassination so disgusting, so enraging. A man who believed in the contest of ideas was cut down by violence. That is a tragedy for his family, for his movement, and for the country. I want to take a moment to commend journalist Janice Heil from the Epoch Times. Her reporting on this event was thoughtful, powerful, and absolutely necessary. She didn't just present the facts, she made it clear that this is a tipping point for America. As she wrote, how leaders and everyday citizens react now could determine whether political violence continues to rise, or whether we, as a society, finally stand up and say, enough is enough. And I couldn't agree more with that assessment. Kirk was fatally shot in the neck while speaking at Utah Valley University. Thousands had gathered to hear him. At the very moment he was answering a question, a single bullet ended his life. The shooter has since been identified and arrested, but the motive still leaves more questions than answers. And remember, this is the highest profile political assassination in America in nearly 6 decades. We're talking about a moment that will be remembered in history books alongside the killings of John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. Scholars like Susan McManus have warned this could either unite Americans or further divide them. Sadly, given the climate, I share her concern. Right now, the two most missing words in politics are civility and compromise. McManus also nailed another truth. America is drowning in a culture of violence. From movies to video games to even the way political news is framed, violence is glorified. And Charlie Kirk himself warned earlier this year about what he called assassination culture. Tragically, he turned out to be right. Utah Governor Spencer Cox has rightly called this a political assassination. President Trump has condemned the violence and vowed to root out those who are fueling it. And let's not forget, Trump himself has been the target of attempted assassinations. But this isn't about one party or one leader. This is about the broader sickness of political violence that is poisoning America. When educators, activists, or commentators glorify the killing of someone they disagree with, they aren't just crossing a line. They're helping tear down the very foundation of civil society. Charlie Kirk leaves behind a massive legacy. He built Turning Point USA into a movement that engaged hundreds of thousands of young conservatives. He mentored future leaders, gave students a voice, and proved that courage and conviction could change the culture. As Gunnar Thordarson said, Kirk wasn't running his movement from some ivory tower. He was in the trenches, face-to-face with students. That authenticity made him a powerful force, and it's part of why his influence will endure. So where do we go from here? I stand with Janice Heil's conclusion. This is a test of whether we continue down the path of division and violence or whether we say no more. If we want to truly honor Charlie Kirk's life, then we must recommit to the principles he stood for: debate without violence, courage without hate, and a faith in free speech over fear. My prayers go out to Charlie's family, his friends, and the countless young people he inspired. His voice may have been silenced, but his impact will live on. If you believe we need to reject political violence and return to civility, then share this video. Speak up, because silence right now is not an option. And once again, credit to journalist Janice Heil and the Epoch Times for reporting this story with the seriousness it deserves. We need more journalism like this. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments, and most of all, let's keep the conversation alive, because that's exactly what Charlie Kirk would have wanted.